Hey guys, Tom itself, taking a look at the trench gun from World at War. I'm going to take a look at the effective range of this based on some probability stuff, using steady aim, stopping power against juggernauts, and finally we're going to take a look at the bayonet, because this gun is terrible, and probably the best thing about it is the bayonet. I call it my poking stick. I'm taking my Modern Warfare 3 shotgun probability series back to World at War for a look at one of the worst guns in Call of Duty that I have ever had the pleasure of humiliating some noobs with. Like I said, it seems to work better and more consistently just to poke them with the bayonet than it does to try and shoot the guys. I'm going to make the same assumptions that I did with my Modern Warfare 3 shotgun probability videos, and that the pellets are all independent of each other and they all have an equal probability of going anywhere in that spread. I'm also going to assume that the player hitboxes are the same size as Modern Warfare 3. It seems like a safe enough assumption. I wouldn't expect them to change the size of the player too much, so yeah. Hopefully you can understand why this gun is so gosh darn terrible. I freaking hate. No. So frustrating. So we can talk about damage. It's normally a 30 to 10 damage gun. Damage drop starts at 7.5 meters, goes to 15. Maximum range is 15 meters on the trench gun. If you have stopping power, your pellets do more damage, and it usually takes about 1 less to kill. If the enemy has juggernaut and you don't have stopping power, it's generally going to take 1 more. So let's just actually talk about which we want to, and that's hits to kill. There's the plot. Not much more I can say about it. But let's go ahead and look at what 10 and 15 meters actually look like in-game. Go back to Modern Warfare 3 where the XM25 makes that nice and easy. Oh, here we've got 10 meters with my shiny golden spaz. We'll step back a little bit further and have a look at about 15. Again, that's going to be the absolute maximum range on the trench gun. So let's go ahead and look at some probability plots here. This might almost be getting normal at this point. We got time on the x-axis in milliseconds, distance in meters on the y-axis, and the different lines represent different levels of probability. The solid line is a 97% probability of getting a kill. You see, as we fire more pellets, the distance at which we get that fairly high probability of getting a kill gets further and further out. And all the way to 83, 67, and down to the dotted line is 50% chance, coin flip, whether or not you get the kill. And here is the stock trench gun. And nothing on it, no steady aim, no stopping power, not against just straight up. If you're going to expect to get a kill, well, you're going to want to be 6 to 8 meters probably in order to have a really good shot at getting that. But what if we add in steady aim, tighten that grouping a little bit? Remember, the trench gun already has a tighter grouping than a lot of other shotguns at 4 instead of the Spaz's 5 spread. Steady aim does help quite a bit. It does in case if we haven't seen that it hasn't. It's just going to mean you're going to have to be fairly accurate, and you're going to have to be hip firing in order to take advantage of that. But still questionable at 10 meters as to whether or not you'll get that kill on the first shot. Let's go ahead and add in stopping power without steady aim. And at some of the further ranges, you get multiple shots just because it takes fewer pellets. It's a little bit better than steady aim. But if I had to pick between one or the other, if my aim was really good, I'd take steady aim. If I wasn't so sure, I'd probably take stopping power. Okay, we can go ahead and say, what if we had both of those together and make the gun as powerful as we can? And okay, at this point, 10 meters, you pretty much got to kill if you can be on target. And you get out to 12, you got a pretty good chance of it. I think at that point you need to hit with more pellets than the gun actually shoots in one shot to get to that point. And so yeah, it's gonna take more than one shot. The thing with juggernaut and stopping power is that you don't know if the guy has juggernaut or not until you take the shot. And if you shoulder the gun just out of habit, you lose your steady aim bonus. And so you could go from having a kill at 10 meters to needing to be within 6 very quickly, like this opening clip that I showed you. I have steady aim and stopping power, but he's a juggernaut and I ADS, and I don't get anything for it. This juggernaut thing is a real pain in the butt, even if you do steady aim the guy. Your odds of getting a kill at any appreciable range are just terrible. So yeah, and the trench gun only has 4 shots, so you gotta kind of hope the guy's an idiot and he doesn't have any friends around, otherwise it's not gonna go too well. So instead of trying to shoot people with my trench gun, I try to poke them with the bayonet on the end of it, as I keep saying. That means that instead of running stopping power, I'm using camouflage, World at War's UAV jammer perk, and instead of steady aim, I've got extreme conditioning, so I can try and run around and get on those long flanks where they're not expecting anyone to come from. Because let's face it, bad things happen when more than one person is looking at you and you're holding a trench gun. Oh, the wonders of the MP40. Ugh, God, terrible. Anyway, if I'm using not stopping power and not steady aim and I run into a juggernaut, those blue lines, well, that's basically my odds, and I need to be within 6-7 meters if I really want to have a chance, and don't even try past 8. I mean, you're just giving yourself away. So yeah, the effective range on a trench gun without steady aim and against the juggernaut is pretty terrible. Now, let's say I gave up extreme conditioning for steady aim. That would improve things quite a bit, but, you know, still, it's fairly questionable. And what if the guy has a second chance? You gotta try and strafe around a corner and then land another shot on him while he doesn't kill you. So, unlike any other gun, with the trench gun, you're constantly faced with a choice. Do I try to shoot, or do I try to poke him with the bayonet? So let's go ahead and add a line in here with the range of the bayonet. It takes 1/10 of a second to get through the animation to get the kill, but if you're further away, then you can sprint. So the slope of the line is decided by the sprint, and then the end there is the 5-meter range on the bayonet. Oh, yeah, if you don't have stopping power and steady aim, and you possibly run into a juggernaut, you know, again, if you can be stealthy, it's the way to go. There's no reason to give away your position when you could just poke the guy from a further distance, stab him with that bayonet. In the end, this usually means that you want to go for a shoot and then immediately stab, because you're not going to get a second shot off unless you can somehow get behind cover, and then you have to reacquire the target. So, best form with the bayonet is shoot, try and poke, and, you know, if you got the kill, good. Otherwise, hopefully the bayonet takes care of things. Shoot, and if you're too far away, strafe into cover and try to get a second shot off. Sometimes it works, usually doesn't. So let's go ahead and put all these numbers on the same graph and see what it looks like. And yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge and mess, but it gives you an idea of what the trench gun's capable of, and how, just depending on whether or not you have stopping power and run into a juggernaut or not, or if you ADS and lose your steady aim bonus, it's really hard to tell how good the gun is actually going to be. Now, finally, let me go ahead and add in the time to kill, assuming 100% accuracy, for the MP40 on the Xbox. It's kind of ridiculous. Goddamn MP40. Anyway, that's the trench gun for you. That which I reluctantly agree to call a gun, because I find it more embarrassing to shoot people with it than to stab them. Get down here. What is it? I freaking hate this thing. This is so bad. I don't know what they were thinking. Anyway, I thought it would be interesting to start World at War for some kind of change of pace. So wait until you see what Commando looks like on that part. Oh, by the way, this game is hacked to shit. Don't even bother playing it. I don't know why I put myself through this. I've dashboarded out of so many games, it's just not even funny. But yeah, yep, not supported anymore. Not a whole lot of fun to actually play. But what can I say? Like, nerdy inclinations get to me, and I want to see just how bad that gun actually was that I remember hating. Oh, so much. And this game. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, all the same, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.